y'all doing this evening? This is the Club of the Man 1993, and I'm here coming to you live for my live review of yet another very lackluster, very skippable episode of Smackdown, as this show each week continues to be a total waste of time. Tonight's episode, of course, took place in the Performance Center. I feel like in some ways I should be a little bit more lenient on WWE, but I guess the biggest reason why I did not enjoy tonight's episode is because within the past 24 to 48 hours, there have been several reports about several superstars being quarantined due to what's going on with the coronavirus right now. And I believe the reports are, I've heard Dana Brooke, Rey Mysterio, The Miz, Bobby Lashley. I feel like there's one more that I'm forgetting, besides the biggest one that we'll get to in a second. But basically, a lot of people. Oh, Daniel Bryan, I have heard. Apparently Brie Bella wants him to stay home also, or at least after WrestleMania take some time off because of the health and whatnot. Although I've heard rumors that Bryan is considering possibly retiring or going part-time as well. But the biggest news we got yesterday, which we will talk about in this video, I think we're going to talk about this more than the actual show itself, because nothing happened on the show. The biggest news of all, Roman Reigns apparently pulled himself from WrestleMania 36 due to his past issues with his leukemia and his weak immune system. Obviously, he's at a higher risk of getting sick right now than anyone in the company for sure. And of course, also this was not too long after apparently Florida now is having a stay-at-home, lockdown thing going on for them right now as well, as a lot of states are. The coronavirus has continued to increase, as we were told today. I believe Pennsylvania itself is now a black state right now because it has over 2,000 cases, which is a shame because it just looks like nothing's really getting better right now, unfortunately, as it seems. But I guess I should give WWE a little bit of leeway with this episode, because what I really didn't like about this episode was this episode did not address any issues whatsoever as far as any of these wrestlers who are being quarantined. Well, other than Dana Brooke, because Dana Brooke's already been pulled from the SmackDown Women's Championship 6-pack challenge. It's now just going to be a fatal 5-way. But still, it's 5 superstars. Well, 4 superstars. Lacey Evans, who's lost to Bayley several times, which this is a good way to segue into this show. We'll actually just talk about the show and just talk about what's going on right outside. Because again, this show did not have anything addressing any of this, which is kind of unacceptable. Even SmackDown, a couple years ago, whenever Seth Rollins got hurt, SmackDown was pre-taped, edited in, addressing about Seth Rollins' knee injury when he hurt his knee back in November of 2015. This had nothing. And I don't know if this is because WWE just had no time to put something together or what, but this show, again, was just a complete waste of time. Even if none of this happened at all, and this is the show we got tonight, I still probably would have given it the grade that we gave it, because this show was just pointless and lazy to set up more and more matches. I mean, some of the times it's stuff that happen, but to me, it's just like, okay, come on. I've seen this enough. I've had enough of it already. Just saying. But let's check the live chat before we get started out to talk about the actual show. And also, make sure to also stay tuned live, because after this stream, I will go live and do my Royal Rumble 2020 live review as well. After that, I will have just 3 more pay-per-view streams to do, and I'll be all caught up on this channel. Pretty much just about everything I wanted to do to get caught up on. Tyler gave the show an F+. How the the mighty have fallen for Kofi. He won for WWE Championship to the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match. Yeah, of course. What's up, Mark? I'm not too bad. Just hanging in there. Hopefully you're hanging in there as well, Mark, and Tyler as well. Vince, please postpone WrestleMania. Yes, exactly. This WrestleMania needs to be postponed. It was one thing the fact that it got moved to the Performance Center, but the fact other superstars now are being quarantined. And also I heard apparently Andrade got injured at a taping or something like that. So he's injured too, so now it sounds like the Raw Tag title match might be off as well. Like, it's a mess. Like, why are you still going through with this just to do it? What profit are you really getting out of this? At this point, even after WrestleMania, with everything else going on, you're probably going to have to, cancel the shows until after this settles down, because now that Florida's not even allowing people to leave their homes right now. It's like, why even continue the shows at this point? Like, seriously, just cancel WrestleMania. I'm sorry, postpone WrestleMania, or just make SummerSlam this year's WrestleMania. It's the best to do right now, because your depth is dropping. It's dropping. This is going to be the worst WrestleMania ever. I will blame it, because there's going to be no crowd. I mean, I know they're trying other stuff besides just, wrestling, inside, the Performance Center, but I don't know, guys. I really don't. I'm not that excited. I was pumped, so pumped for this Mania. Rumble 2020 was awesome. The build was awesome. And then Goldberg wins the Universal Championship, and things just trickle down slowly, and now it's just like, oh gosh. And it's not all WWE's fault, but WWE has its fault to it, because they could be handling it better instead of just looking like you're just doing it just to do it. It's dumb. Like, are you going to just do pay-per-views after this? Or, like, again, I don't know what the plan is going to be. But I do agree. They need to postpone WrestleMania. Let's talk about this show. The show opens up with Bayley and Sasha Banks coming out, talking about how it's supposed to be a magical time when anything could happen, but Bayley adds that this year WrestleMania is going to be a nightmare. Is looking at this for sure. And they're blaming it on Paige because she made it a fatal 5-way elimination match, and whatnot. And also, they said how Paige thinks she was slick for putting Sasha in the match that is going to rift. They're better together like PB&Js, they said. Out came Lacey Evans, says Bayley's mouth is as big as her hat on Lacey's head, and then Bayley just calls her a loser. And then Sasha tells her to go preach to someone who will listen, like a bratty little kid. But Lacey says Becky is right. Wrestling will be a nightmare for both of them. She intends to break Sasha's jaw and teach a champion some manners by taking a title from her. Naomi comes out and says she's with Lacey, at least until they handle these two. We all know the mess Bayley pulled at Super Showdown, and the two of them have unfinished business. She's going to be a bonus when she snatches a blue wig off of Sasha's head, and then they start bickering. Then out comes Tamina, who hasn't had a match in how long, but yeah, she gets a title opportunity, because who knows why. Actions speak louder than words, and a brawl breaks out, and who cares? Why are any of these women in this match? Why is Tamina, especially Tamina, why in the world is Tamina getting a title opportunity at WrestleMania? What has she done? Nothing. She's been at home on the shelf for most of the past year. But okay, so you can barely do anything and get a title match. Yet Bray Wyatt worked his rear end off, and he loses his championship. Why? Because Roman Reigns and Goldberg, spear versus spear, was the better headline match. 1, the match is not even happening, and 2, you didn't even have a freaking story leading to Roman getting a title opportunity. He couldn't at least win a chamber match or something. No, you just had to give it to a random SmackDown tag title match at a chamber, which was solid, decent, solid. But why? Are you making us think that it would make better sense for Roman? Because they freaking manipulators trying to get us. But once again, the match is not happening. But they act like in the show the match still was, because they didn't change anything up. Gosh. Dana Brooke was supposed to be in this match, again, this women's title match, but she got quarantined. But once again, how did she earn it? Sasha Banks, I mean, there should be Bayley and Sasha, the actual story, but the way they're booking right now, how did Sasha earn this? She's been gone for a long time as well. Hasn't really won a match in who knows when. Lacey Evans has lost her how many times? Naomi, well, I'd say Naomi may have a case, but still, it's like, this should have been Bayley and Sasha. Once again, they dropped the ball with it, didn't have any build. But then again, at this point, just wait till SummerSlam for these two. But, lazy, do not care. We then have Drew Gulak versus Shinsuke Nakamura. It's for, if Gulak wins, Bryan gets his opportunity against Sami Zayn for the IC title. Gulak wins, so Bryan's going to be facing Zayn for the IC title. That could be a sleeper match for sure. But of course, do I really expect much since they've really toned down Sami Zayn so much? He's literally just a annoying loudmouth joke now, unfortunately. We then get a recap of Dolph and Otis from last week when Otis just snapped in their match against Miz and Morrison. Hey, ho ho, Miz and Morrison. Hey, ho ho, in their match, and then Dolph came out and started showing pictures of him and Mandy and how their blossoming relationship, and Otis just snapped, basically just had like his big meltdown, just using the chair, and then Tucky just, hugged him, and then Otis just broke down his arms, basically. Just like, basically when he just snapped and goes into shock, like, yes, he did lose, basically. For now, of course, that is. So we got that recap. Backstage, we see Dolph talking to someone on the phone, and we get one of these weird static breakthroughs. So I'm guessing because they showed Killer Kross's video at the end of NXT this week, this is probably going to be Mustafa Ali whenever he decides to show up again. But then Heavy Machinery rolls up with referees, and they're trying to break them apart. Otis and Dolph are jawing at each other, but then Otis challenges him to a match at WrestleMania. I heard rumors there was supposed to be originally a six mixed match, a 6-person mixed tag match. Getting tongue twisted there. It's supposed to be Heavy Machinery and Mandy Rose taking on Dolph Ziggler, Robert Roode, and Sonya Deville, which I heard got canceled. But now I guess they are going to be going forward with Otis and Ziggler, because they're not doing the Andre the Giant or the Women's Battle Royale because of what's going on. You can't have 30 people in the ring at once right now with what's going on right now. So they're doing the one-on-one match. I'm wondering if they're going to swerve us, though, and maybe have someone else get involved, like extended storylines like SummerSlam or something like that. Or again, there's been rumors of maybe Tucker Knight may be the one who sent the text, the fake text about Otis running late and whatnot. Even though I'm not ready for Heavy Machinery to break up. Come on, not even close. These guys need to be tag champions. I'm wondering though, at some point they probably should have put the tag titles on Ziggler and Roode. This could have led the Heavy Machinery getting the tag titles. Still an intriguing story though, but we heard more from Mandy and Otis later. Then we get this segment with Elias on the balcony, thanking us for inviting him into his life, and says he has a song for Baron Corbin ahead of the WrestleMania match, which again, why is this match happening? It's entitled Kingdom of Fools. He plays it for us. It's about how Corbin has no chance of winning, and he is a turd. And but then Corbin comes out and just attacks him, and then he knocks Elias off of the balcony and onto the floor, which then they say Elias was taken to a local medical facility because Vince hates the word hospital. Wonder what Brody Lee's gonna fire the shot next in the promo next week for Dynamite as the Exalted One, as his character is more and more basically taking shots at Vince, which I think is quite awesome. But okay, cool spot with Elias falling off the balcony. Well, not safe, but a spot to at least give Corbin some type of actual regular heat. But again, what is the whole point of this? Nothing. I don't care about this match whatsoever. It's not going to do anything for me at all. It's going to do nothing for Corbin. It's going to do nothing for Elias. Who cares? I'm sorry. Then we have Alexa Bliss and Asuka. Asuka came over from Raw because she showed up on SmackDown the other week and costed Alexa Bliss and Nikki cross their match, but Alexa fires a shot over them because they haven't been crossing brands defending their women's tag titles. Just set up for another match we've seen how many times at WrestleMania. We've seen it how many times over the past year or so. Alexa Bliss won with her snap DDT as usual, so that's probably going to be just a lazy way of setting up for that match at WrestleMania between the two teams. Do you care? I don't. Usos are interviewed backstage saying they wouldn't be the road to WrestleMania if they weren't battling out with the New Day, so tonight it's on lockdown, and whether it's beef or truce, New Day know they have the juice. And we get hyped up for the match that's not happening, but I like tonight that apparently it still is Roman Reigns and Goldberg, but we're not getting it. And then we get a replay of one of my least favorite matches and biggest disappointments of all time, the main event of WrestleMania 32. Roman Reigns and Triple H for the WWE title. Again, big disappointment for me because that was a freaking dream match of mine ever since the Shield and Evolution feud, and they messed it up in the match I thought was horrible. So I had to be reminded of that crap fest, so I didn't care about that. Triple H is talking about Goldberg and Roman backstage, says they're both intense, but Roman's intensity builds, whereas Goldberg is as intense now as he ever will be, and that makes a difference, which is definitely also not going to matter because the match is not happening. But they didn't address it at all in this show. And next week it's advertised we're going to be getting Goldberg and Roman face to face. It's not going to happen because the match isn't happening. It's not happening. But since this is the last time we really saw anything regarding that, again, I will address and say that I do definitely respect Roman, though, for looking after his own health and the health of the others as well, and to stepping aside. Basically, it's like, I don't need this. Like, my health matters more to me than, headlining WrestleMania for the 5th time in my career, because he's headlined how many WrestleManias? He's won, 2 of them, 2 of his main events. He lost 2. Last year wasn't even in the main event, but he won. But he didn't need this. I mean, okay, if you wanted to do just Roman Reigns versus Goldberg again without the championship, that's fine. I'm like, okay, whatever. But, once again, the freaking title does not need to be involved. Honestly, what I would do, at this point, again, I think the best thing to do, because really, who else is going to face Goldberg? Strowman? I don't want to see Strowman face Goldberg at this point because, once again, it's too late. It's too late for Braun Strowman. At this point, what is he going to be as Universal Champion? Nothing. I still think the best thing to do is to have Cena and Wyatt's match the first night. Make it now. Well, now it was made into we have a stipulation for it now. Which we'll see how that goes. It's going to be very similar to a horrible match that Wyatt had a couple years ago. Make their match for the number 1 contendership for the Universal Championship. Bray never got his rematch, and John Cena was a shot for his 17th world title. He hasn't been around for a while. Like, okay, kind of makes sense. Here's the opportunity for him to earn that opportunity. Go for it. That's why I think it should happen. And on night 2, Bray wins the title back. Because he should have never lost it in the first place. But who knows what WWE will come up with. I don't know. Watch me sound like Cain Velasquez or Tyson Fury. Oh, God. Because WWE is obsessed with bringing in boxers. Or mixed martial artists. Who are just not trained properly for this art. Who the heck knows? Before we get to the Firefly Funhouse, we had a segment with Mandy Rose with Dolph Ziggler chatting with Sonya Deville. When Mandy rolls up and asks she can speak to Dolph alone, and she's like, "Okay, why are you doing this to Otis?" He admits, like, okay, Otis is the one who stood you up, which is not true, but he admits also he messed up rubbing it in his face with the pictures. And Mandy's like, "Okay, look, you can fight, but I don't want you fighting over me." And then Ziggler's like, "It's okay, it's not about you. And he's going to win anyways. Let's go back to the hotel and get champagne." So jealous of you, Dolph. But, we'll see where this goes. Obviously, again, Mandy's still showing, some, soft spot for Otis. But obviously, she still thinks Otis stood her up. we'll see how it goes. Again, this is still really the only intriguing thing going on right now. But let me see here. Live chat. See something in the live chat first. Let's check the live chat. The SmackDown Women's Division is stupid. There's no depth in it. Champions lose all the time. What's up with that? I don't know, because once again, it's very lazy booking to give people title opportunities. They lose all their other matches, but yet they win their title matches. Again, it's lazy. It's booking. It's just crappy booking we've gotten for how many years, and it doesn't make me care at all. Also, what happens in the main event? We'll get that in a little bit. WrestleMania needs to be postponed. Couldn't the board of directors do something about this terrible WrestleMania situation? Who the heck knows? As long as Vince McMahon's in charge, we do things my way. Even though, once again, on December 19, 2018, or whichever date it was, December 17th, I can't remember, he says, we're not the authority anymore. You are. Whatever you want, we're going to give it to you. You haven't given us one thing. Well, okay, some things you've given to us, but still, you've not stuck to that philosophy at all. There's been no new stars. You just ruined what we've wanted to get. What happened to Seth Rollins? What happened to Kofi Kingston? What happened to Becky Lynch, or crying out loud? Like, Becky Lynch was the hottest act. She's done the best she can. It's not her fault, but you have no depth in the women's division. It's like they try to purposely sabotage us. We're saying, we told you it was going to be nothing special. It's just how you made it the way you wanted it to be, Vince. As I always like to say, referring back to what John Cena said about The Undertaker and his build to their match at WrestleMania 34. Get over your ego. It's not going to happen, though. So we had this Firefly Funhouse segment where Bray Wyatt says he cuts to the lantern making weird noises. He yells for it to shut up before saying he had his chance and failed against John Cena. But he won't. Abby then calls him delusional and asks if he suddenly has the secret recipe to beat John Cena, because he couldn't 6 years ago. But he's like, actually, I do. So he makes something to drink. He gets a scoop of disappointment. A little bit of self-loathing, some hot sauce for flavor, and then a heaping helping of rage and resentment that all go into a blender. Then Rambling Rabbit offers a carrot so he can see Cena. But Bray says he needs something a little more irrelevant and unnecessary opinions. And Rambling Rabbit goes in the blender and he gets blended. Poor Rambling Rabbit. So then he's holding a picture of some orange liquid which he starts drinking. It says it went straight to his head. And then cue the idea light bulb. Bray says a big star like John Cena deserves more than an ordinary match. So he wants Cena to step into their world of madness where anything goes and the fun never ends. So he challenges him to a Firefly Funhouse match at WrestleMania. I mean, an excuse to not have this whole show in front of, a dead audience and no crowd just kind of make it a little more interesting. I get it, but man, that gave me just horrible flashbacks to Payback 2017 with Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt in the in the House of Horrors match. Yeah, I'm a little concerned about this, but all I'm asking for is just have Bray win. Just have him win at this point. He needs to win it again. Have him win the first night. Go to the night 2, since Roman Reigns is not going to be on this show now. Once again, a reminder, because he didn't address it in the show at all. Have Bray Wyatt regain his Universal Championship against Goldberg. But who knows? It's probably not going to happen. I don't know, guys. I don't know about this. Then we did have a segment with the New Day at some point. Don't remember when it was. But, anyways, we then have, the main event. New Day and the Usos. Not a bad match. I always put on good matches, but the match ended as you expected. Because Miz and Morrison, hey, ho, got involved in the match and beat down on the New Day and Usos. And then Michael Cole was told through his headset that it's going to be a triple threat ladder match. Typical booking. So you have two people, who are going to fight for a number one contendership. Instead of just having them, beat the heck out of each other and get, double counted out or something. Or, double pin or something like that. No, instead you got to use the typical fashion to make Miz and Morrison look idiots. Because how many other people have caused a beatdown that caused a disqualification, and here it says a no contest, that just leads to, it's gonna be a triple threat. Again, at least make the tag teams look like badasses. But whatever, what do I know? I just don't know what's gonna happen with this match because Miz is quarantined. Aleister Black and Bobby Lashley's probably not gonna happen because Bobby Lashley's quarantined. Rey Mysterio's quarantined. Andrade got injured apparently on a taping. Why is WWE still doing this show? Seriously, this show had such great build to it, and there's moments, like Drew McIntyre winning the WWE Championship, a thing something that everybody's behind. He has earned, he's worked so hard for, and he's freaking over right now. He's not going to get that celebrate that moment in front of the fans. It's going to be literally just a win a title, and he's not going to get a reaction at all. He deserves that big pop. I don't know, guys. Either way, whether or not this show did address, the quarantine situations or whatnot, I still didn't like this episode. I gave it a D+. I mean, I liked, I'm still digging what's going on with Mandy, Otis, and Dolph. Even though I'm worried about this Firefly Funhouse match, I like that segment. Other than that, to me, nothing else really mattered much on this show. Not at all, because nothing was addressed. So I gave the show a D+. Live chat, what we got here? Let me see here. It's going to be another House of Horrors match. Mark gave this show an F. Vince ego, man. And Mark also said somebody needs to do something about Vince. Vince is untouchable, unfortunately. But, that's going to do it for this review, guys. Let's take a couple minute break now. Come back up here and talk about a show that was actually good and exciting when we were pumped and ready for WrestleMania, which was Royal Rumble 2020. Jeez, all the excitement I had coming out of that show, just for it to just, crash down on us, unfortunately. But yeah, that's going to do it for this SmackDown review, guys. We'll be back up here again in a few minutes to review Royal Rumble 2020. D+ for SmackDown. What are your thoughts on SmackDown? Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Slap a like on the video. Subscribe or comment on my channel. Follow me on Twitter at TheManAir93. And I'll see you guys in just a few minutes for my Royal Rumble 2020 live review. So until then, guys, I'll see you all then. Peace out, everybody.